Thank you. What a tremendous honor to share the stage with senators and representatives of the greatest country on earth. I myself am an immigrant from France, or a refugee perhaps, and a naturalized citizen. So this means a lot to me. And I also, I've been researching Bitcoin for the better part of a decade now, and never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined being up on this stage. So I have the challenge of following Andrew's very eloquent presentation, so I'll do my best here. So, fundamentally, when we look at gold, people point out that gold is an investment, but also that it has a tremendous amount of utility. And I agree with them on the latter, and that's, I think, what we should focus on with regards to gold. From the Wall Street Journal, they pointed out that this recent rise in the price of gold is actually hurting US manufacturers. And we've got jewelry that is getting diluted to fewer and fewer carats. We've got, it's getting hollowed out. Dentists, my father-in-law is a dentist. He points out that gold is the best to use for caps and whatnot from a medical perspective, but it's just so expensive. And so I humbly suggest that it would be a really great idea to put all of that gold in Fort Knox that is collecting dust and put it to productive use in the American economy. And in particular, next year, we have the 250th anniversary of this great nation, 1776. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a line of jewelry commemorating that moment so that President Trump can actually sell the gold at a premium and have a tremendous appreciation of value that we can apply towards Bitcoin? Okay, so it was in the news very recently that there might be $425 billion in Fort Knox worth of gold. There might not be. Doge has to audit it. So what would it mean to actually audit the gold at Fort Knox? I heard one senator say that 50 years ago, he walked in there and looked at it and decided that it was there, which I find very dubious because okay, so in order to audit gold, you have to do an assay, do a sonogram to make sure that the purity is what is stamped on it. It is a very expensive, time-intensive chemical process. And on top of that, even if you were able to fully verify all of the gold at Fort Knox at tremendous expense, you still don't know what percentage of the total supply is that. How do you go about seeing how much gold is throughout the world? Earlier today, Vivek pointed out that you find a gold asteroid, and now the total supply gets multiplied by 10. So let's contrast that with Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin miners deserve a lot of credit, of course. They are proposing blocks. That is also part of their process when they propose a block is that it has to be verified by nodes. There's a check and balance there. And we don't talk about the Bitcoin nodes enough. The Bitcoin nodes are verifying the protocol rules for Bitcoin. And as part of that, they're verifying the Bitcoin supply. And so when you run a Bitcoin node, you can run that on any kind of device, home computer, and you can see that the Bitcoin that you are receiving is real Bitcoin. It's 100% pure. And so you have a really easy way to audit the total supply. We talked about math today, so 94% of the Bitcoin have been mined. And I generated this chart using my own Bitcoin node. I did not have to go to a central bank's website to see what the monetary policy is. I was able to independently verify that on a peer-to-peer network. No, gold can't do that. On top of that, of course, there's the tremendous cost of storing gold. If you're using a vault, it's rated for maybe 30 minutes against power tools. When you're using a hardware wallet with Bitcoin, it's rated for an infinite amount of time. The latest generation doesn't have any known vulnerabilities. Knock on wood. And you can also do a multi-sig. So you can actually decentralize the custody of Bitcoin in a way that you simply cannot do with gold. So in terms of the utility, the security of the system, it's far superior. And an interesting example would be you could actually put one of the hardware wallets in a nuclear submarine. You could put another one in a satellite on the dark side of the moon, on Mars. And that you're essentially able to put the custody of Bitcoin to where only a superpower could reach it, a superpower like the United States. And then, of course, sending gold is expensive. Sending Bitcoin is cheap relative to that. And if we look at the other cryptocurrencies, they've got all sorts of problems. And then when we talk about Bitcoin being number 1, Ethereum being number 2, we're not talking about a photo finish, OK? Bitcoin is very far ahead. And happy to take questions. Find me on Twitter, X, at BitcoinPierre. My DMs are open, and always happy to talk Bitcoin. Thank you.